Hello, this is Tori with LANDiO. We're proud to present this amazing 40-acre property in Idaho. It is a turnkey working ranch with a main home, accessory buildings, amazing views. There's open pasture land. It's just minutes from the Caribou National Forest, and there's even a view of Caribou Mountain from the property. If you've been following LANDiO for a while, we want to thank you for your continued support. If you're new to the channel, we welcome you with open arms and ask that you please subscribe to our channel. The more people that we reach, the more dreams of land ownership we can make come true. This property was recently offered as an auction. There were active bidders, however, the reserve price was not met. This amazing property is now being offered as a traditional fixed price listing at just under $1.2 million. Now let's go into the details of this property. This is a satellite image showing the 40-acre parcel highlighted in green. You have roughly a quarter mile of frontage along State Highway 34. That's a paved state highway, and that runs along the west boundary of the property. There you have the roughly quarter mile of frontage along the state highway. Here's the main home and barn. Back here is a corral, accessory buildings. Here we have just the property in color. Gives you a sense of the rolling terrain. A high elevation point up on the southeast corner. You can see some of the cattle grazing up here. This is looking over the property. We're on the east side looking towards the west with beautiful mountains in view. Here we're south of the barn and the homestead looking north. You can see that paved highway frontage, and this is Caribou Mountain. This is the interactive map with the parcel highlighted in green. If we zoom out just a little bit, you can see all of this green shaded area. That is the Caribou National Forest, and just to the north here, this is Caribou Mountain. And you can actually take an ATV or even a snowmobile in the wintertime up to the top of Caribou Mountain. We had a conversation with the seller where he was telling us all of the things that he loves about the property in the area, and he mentioned how many times he's taken his snowmobile up to the top of Caribou Mountain. And you're just minutes from the Caribou National Forest in several different directions. If we look to the south, you're only about 4.5 miles to what is called the Gravel Creek Campground. There's a sign as you enter the Caribou National Forest. This is looking just over the ridge, and those beautiful mountains continue as far as the eye can see. And then just to the north, you have the Grays Lake National Wildlife Refuge and a place called Bear Island. For some reason, the shaded area is not catching all of the wildlife refuge. And then over here to the west, you have the Blackfoot Reservoir. This is only about 20 miles from the property. Now, this is a recent video of the Blackfoot Reservoir. It's roughly 16,000 surface acres, and it's desirable for fishing and recreation. And to give you an idea where the property is located in the state, it is in the southeast portion of Idaho, close to the Idaho-Wyoming state line. You're actually only about an hour and a half from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which means you're also not too far from the Yellowstone National Park. Soda Springs, Idaho is only about 40 minutes from the property, has a population around 3,000. Idaho Falls and Pocatello are also only about an hour and a half from the property. This is the contour map. The elevation's around 6,440 feet on the lower side and close to 6,600 feet on the southeast corner. This photo is standing on the property looking south along the state highway. You can see the Caribou National Forest. This is looking west. This is the actual view you'll enjoy from the property. Just imagine how beautiful the sunsets are over those mountains. And now we're looking north, and there you can see Caribou Mountain. This is across the road looking at the property. The main home is framed by these mature trees. Take a closer look at the home, which is said to have been built around the 1950s. The seller estimates there's roughly 3,300 square feet of living space in what would consider to be 4 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. And speaking of snowmobiles, you can see 2 snowmobiles right here. There's a 1,000-gallon propane tank. There's a water well. It's approximately 500 feet deep. And the seller also described a natural spring on the property that runs year-round. They encapsulated the spring in concrete, which is then routed to water all of the livestock. And it's even routed to the home, where if for some reason the seller said that you could actually turn off the water from the water well and use the water from the spring inside the home. There's a newer shipping container. The seller said it was only used for 1 shipment. He's got electricity run to the shipping container. Said he only drilled 1 hole to bring power into the shipping container. This barn was built in 2012. It's approximately 2,016 square feet and has a 15-foot ceiling with those tall roll-up doors that you could actually drive through it. This is the interior of the barn. The seller said the kennels are removable. Through this gate you can go back to the corral with the stable. Here's some photos of the interior. There's additional accessory buildings. This is an old chicken coop. The seller built a sauna. And then we have dozens of interior photos of the home. You can view all of these images and more on our website at landio.com. We're going to head over there in just a minute to show you additional information about the property. This is the property details page on our website, landio.com. In addition to over 200 images of the property in the surrounding area, we also have some 360 images. You can click on any of these images, then take your mouse cursor and zoom around. These 360 images were shot in such a great resolution that you can even zoom in to see the detail. Look at all those cattle grazing out there. The seller said sometimes he'll have 50 head of cattle and 8 horses on the property at one time. He also described the property as so green that it hurts your eyes, and that in the spring, summer, and early fall, he does not need to supplement feeding the cattle or the horses, that they just graze on the native grasses, and that's sufficient for them. This is the interactive map that we were looking at previously. Then we have a lot of additional information about the property here. The property taxes are only $789 a year for the entire 40 acres with the home. There's actually 2 separate parcels that make up this 40 acres. As you continue to scroll down, there's a bunch of additional information about the property and the surrounding area. We also have the KML map file that you can download and then open in Google Earth. That will take you right to the property. You can then zoom around and view the property from different angles. See all the mountains surrounding the property. Zoom in, look at the topography. Here we are up in the high elevation point, and there is Caribou Mountain. If we go back to the interactive map for just a moment and we zoom out a little bit, you can see there's not a whole lot of private land available around here. Most of this land is national forest land, state land, BLM land. There's national wildlife area. Here's the Palisades Reservoir, Alpine. It's just an incredibly beautiful area. You could spend every day for years going out here and exploring all this public land around the property and still not even scratch the surface. And look what we have here, the Grand Teton National Park, which is only about 75 miles from the property. We're very excited to work with Idaho Realtor Jeff Hawker on the marketing of this property. If you have any questions, please call or text Jeff directly at 208-260-2004. Again, his number is 208-260-2004. And we're working closely with Jeff to bring you several more properties in Idaho of varying sizes, price points, and attributes. If you have a property that you're looking to sell in Idaho or any other state for that matter, just click this Sell Property button. That will take you to a simple form where you just provide a few pieces of information. We'll then connect with you to discuss your property in the process. On behalf of myself, my family, and the entire team here at LANDiO, we sincerely appreciate your continued support and ask that you please share our website, our properties, and our videos with everyone that you know. Again, the more people that we reach, the more dreams of land ownership we can make come true, and it would be an honor to add you to the LANDiO family of happy clients. Thank you and God bless.
.com